Welcome to the heart of New York City, where our story begins with a boy named Edson. He's walking through the bustling streets with a spring in his step. Why? Because today is special. He has a big basketball game coming up. He's excited, and so are his old, worn-out sneakers, though they've seen better days. Up above, a trio of sneakers dangle from a wire, casually chatting. They talk about the prestigious Prado, the ultimate showcase of luxury sports shoes, where only the most exclusive and stylish sneakers are unveiled. This year, all eyes are on a legendary pair, the 𝐆-𝐚𝐢𝐥 A24S, also known simply as the A24S. Edson and his mom arrive at the event, where celebrities and elite sneaker fans are already mingling. Though Edson isn't a VIP, he's full of hope. He dreams of owning the A24S even if he doesn't have enough money to enter the raffle. His mom, determined to make him happy, overcomes obstacle after obstacle and finally gets him into the tennis gala, where she gives him a heartfelt goodbye and tells him to enjoy every moment. The gala is extravagant. Cameras flash, music blares, and everyone is dressed to impress. Edson finds himself in the shadow of more popular players, especially one cocky guy who thinks he's the next big thing. But Edson only has eyes for one person, Vanessa, the manager of the sports club. She's focused, confident, and not easily impressed. She notices Edson's worn sneakers and, sensing his sincerity, hands him a raffle ticket, his only shot at winning the A24S. He's grateful, but the moment is interrupted when someone very powerful arrives. Enter the collector, a mysterious, wealthy man obsessed with rare sneakers. He's accompanied by his strange pet Mercury, and he quickly buys up the remaining raffle tickets to increase his chances of winning. Edson now realizes that his odds just got a lot slimmer. The collector has one goal: to possess the A24S at any cost. The music starts thumping as the DJ hypes up the crowd and announces the arrival of the legendary designer behind the A24S. Every year, he gives a pair to someone from the sports club as a symbol of inspiration. Inside a secure box are the stars of the evening, two vibrant sneakers, T, the ambitious brother who dreams of being displayed like a work of art, and Maxi, his sister, who just wants to play basketball with someone who loves the game. As the raffle begins, everyone's holding their breath. The collector grins smugly, sure of his win. But then, against all odds, the winner is Edson. He can't believe it. He rushes up and receives the A24S. Back home, Edson is glowing with happiness. He tells his mom these sneakers are his ticket to greatness, the NBA, Vanessa, and a future he's always dreamed of. He wears them proudly and even plays around with them a bit, not knowing something strange is happening. The sneakers are alive. After so much time walking with Edson, they've learned to move and even dance. That night, with the big game coming up, Edson carefully sets the A24S aside and heads to dinner. Now the two start chatting with each other. T isn't happy. He thinks they're wasting their potential and that Edson isn't worthy of them. He wants to escape and join the collector, who he believes will showcase them like royalty. Maxi, however, feels the opposite. She likes Edson and wants to stay with him. As they argue, the collector breaks in to steal them. He put them in a box and started to go back to his home. In the middle, a struggle ensues between the sneakers. In the chaos, T and Maxi get separated. Maxi is taken by the collector, while T ends up lost on the streets of New York. The collector returns to his base, where he partners with a shady figure known as the Forger. The Forger wants the A24S for his own secret collection, but the collector demands more money. The Forger coldly reminds him of a past failure that left him disgraced. Meanwhile, the collector realizes he only has one sneaker. He sends his strange pet Mercury to find the missing one T. On the streets, T is tangled on a wire when a flashy, stray sneaker named JB spots him. JB is street smart and covered in shiny add-ons. He helps T down and, misunderstanding his intentions, assumes T wants to rescue his sister. But T confesses he doesn't care about reuniting with her. He wants to join the collector's collection. JB agrees to help, but for a price. He wants some of T's stylish features. T reluctantly agrees. They team up, though JB quickly realizes T's spoiled attitude won't make things easy. To get to the collector, they must first visit the elusive Shoe King, known as OJ. They sneak into a backpack carried by an athlete, enduring the stench of sweaty socks just to reach the king's court. Meanwhile, Maxie is trapped in the collector's lab. The collector uses a machine to restore her to mint condition and places her in a glass case among other rare sneakers. These collectibles seem pristine, but they're miserable. They long to be free, to run, jump, and live again. Maxie tells them she's escaping no matter what, but they warn her, no one escapes. Back at the court, T and JB meet King OJ. He says he'll help them, but only after they win a basketball game against his crew. The gum-wrapped ball is tricky, and at first, T struggles. But then he finds his rhythm. The crowd roars. During the final play, T leaps, but the gum sticks. He's stuck midair. Just when it seems over, the gum stretches and flies into the basket. They win. The king tells them the person who has info on the collector is Adriana. JB panics. Adriana is his ex, and he doesn't want her to see him like this. But T gives him extra accessories to boost his confidence. JB calls in a wild ride. Skater friends who whisk them through the city, dodging everything from traffic to their worst enemies, rats. Elsewhere, Edson is watching a video about a once great athlete who lost everything after one mistake. Edson fears the same fate. He feels empty without the A24S. Vanessa texts him, saying she'll be at the big game. His mom offers to buy him another pair of sneakers, but he refuses. Nothing will replace the A24S. Elsewhere, Maxie is trying to escape. There's only one exit, but it's blocked, and it's obvious he won't be able to get out that way. Just then, one of the shadowy sneakers tells Maxie something really interesting. The only sneaker who ever escaped the collector was someone named Lucas. And Lucas didn't do it alone. His tennis partner helped him. That sparks something in Maxie. He wants to meet Lucas. But there's a catch. This mysterious tennis partner doesn't want to come out of their box. Then, Maxie learns something else. The very first F sneaker in the collector's collection is still in its original box. It never left because it lost its companion and couldn't be part of the world anymore. It's like the spirit went out of it. It's kind of heartbreaking. Back with JV, he finally reunites with Adriana. He doesn't waste any time. He immediately tells her about the important mission. He has to help the little sneaker, T, find his sister. But Adriana doesn't believe him. She brushes it off like it's nothing. But while JV is trying to explain things, the other sneakers nearby notice T. They're fascinated. He's new, shiny, clearly a luxury model, and it shows. All the other sneakers are eager to talk to him, but the one who really catches his eye is a cool, friendly sneaker named Brittany. T and Brittany hit it off almost immediately. He even starts telling her about his past, about the pair of sneakers he used to walk around in so much that they eventually learned how to dance. While that's happening, JV keeps trying to convince Adriana that helping reunite T with his sister is the right thing to do. He finally gets through to her. Adriana then reveals that the only sneaker who knows where the collector is hiding is Lucas, the one sneaker who ever escaped. But she has no idea where to find him. That's when Brittany steps up. She starts singing, calling out to all the sneakers around, hoping someone will have some clue about Lucas's whereabouts. Her voice travels through the place like a call for help. Brittany's song works. She gets the information they need. However, there's a new threat on the horizon. The collector, along with his dog, manages to sneak into the area. The dog starts sniffing around for T. A chase breaks out, and it's chaos. But T and JV work together and manage to outsmart the dog and defeat it. Once they're safe again, they escape and hitch a ride back to the skaters. But Lucas is far away, so the skaters take them to a truck that can get them closer. T and JV, now tighter than ever, enjoy the peaceful ride. During the ride, T asks JV a serious question. He wants to know who Isaac is, the name he saw marked on JV. But JV doesn't want to talk about it. He just says it's a long story with sadness in his voice. Meanwhile, the collector returns to his hideout empty-handed. He didn't catch T. But Maxie sneaks up behind him and sees something shocking. The collector is working with the counterfeiter. Worse, the counterfeiter is now taking over the whole operation. He threatens the collector, saying that if he doesn't hand over the A24S sneakers soon, he'll destroy the entire collection. The collector is panicking while Maxon escapes and returns to the others to share what he saw. The other sneakers are terrified. If the counterfeiter takes over, they could all be turned into confetti. But they don't know how to escape. That's when Maxon steps up and says, "I have an idea." Elsewhere, T and JV are just about to reach Lucas. But suddenly, JV stops and confesses something. He tells T that at first, he only wanted him for his shiny decorations. He had a habit of going from court to court, collecting cool accessories. But after getting to know T, everything changed. Now, he considers him a true friend. T is devastated. He feels betrayed. Without saying anything else, he walks away, deciding to finish the mission alone. JV, heartbroken, heads in the opposite direction. But then something stops him. He spots many sneakers, ripped completely in half. A damaged sneaker tells him that the collector gave them to the counterfeiter, who sliced them to clone and customized them. That's when it hits JV. T is in danger. The same thing could happen to him. So he turns around, determined to save his friend. Meanwhile, T meets back up with Brittany, who offers to take him to Lucas. At the same time, Maxie sneaks into the collector's computer room and sends a message to Edson, the boy who owns T. He tells him someone is coming to return his sneakers and gives him the collector's address. But the collector's dog starts sniffing them out again, so Maxie has to hide. Finally, T meets Lucas. He asks him for the collector's location. At first, Lucas refuses to help. But Brittany steps in with some strong motivation, probably another one of her iconic songs, and Lucas finally gives in. They now know where the collector is. But the collector already knows where they are too. He storms in, ready to capture T. Just as he's about to grab him, JV shows up. A huge scuffle breaks out, and in the confusion, the collector ends up grabbing JV instead of T. T is crushed. He thinks JV tricked him and is actually working with the collector. But then the king sneaker shows up and clears everything up. He tells T the real story behind JV. JV and his partner were once worn by a super talented basketball player named Isaac. Everyone thought Isaac was going to make it to the big leagues. But one day, JV was showing off, tying his laces in a fancy way, and it caused Isaac to trip and injure his foot. Isaac couldn't play for years, and he blamed his sneakers. Since then, JV has carried the guilt and felt like a failure. The king explains that JV may have made a mistake, but he has a good heart. He's not the villain T thinks he is. After that, T and his friends make their way through a dark, creepy place crawling with rats. It's a tough journey, but his friends fight to protect him. They stay behind so T can move forward alone to find the collector. Back in the collector's room, the counterfeiter shows up, demanding the other sneaker. The collector hands over what he claims is the missing shoe. But it's a trick, it's a fake. The counterfeiter, furious, goes live on every screen in the city. He exposes the truth. The beloved collector is actually Isaac, the same player who failed years ago. The counterfeiter is ready to destroy Isaac's collection with his giant machine. But Maxie and the other sneakers rebel. They show the world they can talk, they can move, and they're not just objects to be owned. They overpower the counterfeiter's machine and stop the chaos. T finally reunites with his sister. She sees the scratches and scuffs on him and realizes how much he's been through. But T is proud of those marks. They show who he is. They're a sign of his journey. Still, they have to hurry. Edson is already waiting, and he's getting impatient. All the sneakers begin to escape. One sneaker doesn't want to go. It has no hope left. but Maxi recognizes it as JV's missing partner. He pulls it out of its box, and when the two sneakers are reunited, it's a beautiful moment. But the collector finds them again. They're trapped. Then, he sees his old sneakers, JV, and his partner, and suddenly, memories of his glory days come flooding back. On the screen, he sees Edson warming up, and he sees himself in that boy. Time passes. The big game is about to begin. Edson is struggling. His current sneakers are worn out. Just then, Isaac, once known as the collector, walks onto the court. The crowd gasps. Everyone knows who he is now. He gives Edson his sneakers back and wishes him good luck. Edson says something powerful. Good players recognize each other. Isaac doesn't feel like a good player anymore. But the crowd cheers him on not just as a collector, but as Isaac, the boy who never gave up. Isaac regains his confidence. Edson puts on the A24S sneakers, T and Maxi, and steps onto the court. And just like that, the game begins. Isaac watches with pride. And in the end, he donates his entire collection to the sports club, so future kids can find sneakers with stories just like T's. And that's how the amazing story wraps up. If you like this story, take good care of your shoes. Or as they say in Sneakerland, have a great pair of shoes. I mean, have a great day.